He says this, there is no authority at the middle part of Romans 13, verse 1, except from God. And the authorities that exist are appointed by God. God is the one who puts all authorities into place. And keep in mind that when he puts an authority into place, he also does this. He limits the sphere of their authority. So in other words, the government, he puts the government in place and he gives the government this sphere of authority, but the government doesn't have what authority over the church. That's another sphere of authority. So the government doesn't have control over to what we speak, doesn't have control over what passages I can teach. This is now what? We're a whole separate authority, a whole separate sphere. Now there's a third sphere. What? That's the home. That's where you are. I don't have the authority to tell you what you must do in your home. I don't tell you who you should marry, who you shouldn't marry, if you should date. I don't have that authority. This is now what? That's beyond me. And so I can share with you the scripture. Let the scripture speak authority in your life. I can share to the government, scripture, let the authority speak that in their life. Now they can control certain things, but they can't control others. And this is where it's so important to recognize what control do they have. They have control if we do something wrong. Now, if they say something's wrong and God says it's right, then what? Who's right? Do we obey God rather than man? No, we obey God. So if God says it's right, we do what's right. If the government says what God says is right is wrong, I don't going to listen to the government anymore. But if they do have other rules and they say, hey, drive so fast, then drive so fast. Don't punch people when they're not expecting. Don't punch people. You understand? There's certain rules that we can follow, but at the same time, there's certain spheres of authority that they don't have. They cannot tell you what to do in your own home. They cannot tell us what to do in the church. So keep in mind that we understand that there is no authority except that God places that authority. He places authority over government. He places authority over men. Another passage in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 28, verse 18, he says this, all authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. See, Jesus has all authority.